A new year is just around the corner, and in my small part of the world, it means we've been thrown into a very hot summer. I'm sure many of you have felt the pace and challenges of the last year, and one thing that stood out to me above all else was how joy can be swiftly lost when our minds are ruminating about our future or consumed by the past and missing the chance to be completely attentive to what's right in front of us. I decided to visit our neighbours across the Tasman Sea in this season and enjoy not only the cooler weather here, but also share in the very friendly communities here in New Zealand. Today I am sharing what I have learned about how to focus more on what's going well right now, and I invite you to join me. So my first step, of course, is preparing something in the kitchen. This is not a meal for me, but rather some curious companions I've made over the last 2 days. Over the last year, I lost a bit of sight on the bigger picture and found I had trouble slowing down in order to enjoy simple moments. There's nothing quite like waking up with a sunrise or falling asleep to see a clear, luminous stars jumping out against an inky black sky. It felt like the stars themselves were reaching out to the earth to be touched. There is nothing that inspires me more than freedom, not being rushed to do something instantly upon waking, being able to choose how to spend each day, crafting your own perfect week and filling it with quality projects that give a sense of fulfillment, creating meaningful connections with others, and of course, allowing yourself to receive proper rest and peace. I don't recall ever making a proper New Year's resolution. However, I will share something that has deeply helped me this year overcome a lot of stress and worry. Instead of writing yet another list of to-dos and adding to an already full list of items, I simply ask, who do I want to be, and what would that feel like? And rather than do what I normally do, which is hammer myself into the ground in pursuit of goal chasing and not stopping until I get there, usually by then I am exhausted and don't fully enjoy the result as a consequence, I'm finding 2 specific ideas very helpful in keeping my mind in a healthy and constructive direction. And that is, firstly, making progress and growing towards the things that truly matter to allow fulfillment and meaning to take shape. And secondly, enjoying every day on its own merit as we make our progress, rather than treat each day of our life as simply a means to an end. I'm finding that slowness and simplicity is often the antidote to many modern problems. Reflection and pausing to consider our automatic habits and reactions is critical for self-awareness and self-directed kindness. We tend to put all of our focus on outward-facing energy, action-based, doing mode. We can find ourselves so busy, we don't have time to think about what we truly desire, and our day is consumed by just trying to get through it rather than actually living it. I have been working on a lamington recipe and trying to perfect the sponge cake being firm enough to not fall apart when dipped in chocolate, but not so firm that it's like chewing bricks. I think this batch turned out okay. There was a thought-inviting film I watched a few years ago about a man who discovered a device that could fast-forward or rewind his life, and at first he loved it. He could fast-forward any awkward family conversations, fast-forward through his wife's boring chit-chat. He developed a kind of obsession with fast-forwarding through his life, and it became apparent there was a price to taking these shortcuts. His desire for convenience led to unintended consequences that negatively impacted his life, and he began to realize by skipping part of his life, he also missed out on precious moments with his friends and family, and he was accelerating his very life and getting older to a point where he could not go back to ever experience those moments. To me, the film highlighted the importance of facing challenges with courage and understanding that there are no free shortcuts to success or happiness. I myself am still figuring out how to allow myself to enjoy the meaningful little moments. And although I do not have a step-by-step design for the new year, I am excited to know that clarity comes with taking inspired action, and there are no wrong turns, just information to collect and course correct where needed. In the bigger picture, we're living a little dot in time, and this is a comforting thing. In today's culture, we're often saturated with the pressure that we need to be big, be hugely important, have huge presence or followings and impact. But I am considering that this might in fact be a fast track to mental illness, and rather than adopt that way of being, perhaps it's developing a graceful acceptance of our modest position in the history of the world that is the gateway to calmness and harmony. I am wishing you the very best for all the new things that are happening for you this new year, or whether you're following the traditional calendar year or the Chinese New Year, or whatever time frame that feels comfortable for you. I know I like to think of every morning as a chance for renewal, so this is another day for a chance at renewing the mind. So I celebrate with you for whatever it is that you're looking forward to. It's been very good for me as well to embrace a season of acceptance whilst also making changes that are realistic and sustainable. Something else that I have had to learn about acceptance is in regards to work. YouTube is a place that rewards creators for uploading often and consistently, and when you're very exciting. So sometimes I really am not any of those things, and I realize that has its consequences, but at the same time, it's actually been a super positive thing for me to realize that everything changes in time. You can't really live expecting everything to stay the same for too long. Keeping the mind and the heart open to the positive things that come about from change, as well as the challenges, which has been really important for me lately. I'm going to give those lamingtons away and go for a walk because it gives me a chance to also appreciate being able to see, being able to live in a city that has clean air, and appreciate the fact that I have legs and can walk. As simple as that sounds, I'm finding pleasure in the things that we often take for granted. So this is good. I am sending you all much love, and feel free to leave a little story below if you wish about perhaps how you're going to embrace the new year. Maybe you've got some goals or some challenges that you're facing and you have some ideas about solutions. Whether you're in the Northern Hemisphere or the South, or maybe you're living right on the equator, may you find another little piece of that untapped potential which we have in each of us. Sending you all the best wishes for this upcoming adventure. Until next time.